Getting started soon. Almost there. All right. All right, guys. So we are getting started, and my friend here doesn't move out of my way. But let's take the opportunity here to just make our thumbnail. So how's it gonna be? Let's see. One more try. One more try. Uh, it's gonna come around. Almost there. Let's try. All right. So here we are. Right, so I've been posting today already. I'm inviting people to come around and be a part of this with us. There's a lot to do. There's many steps to be concluded, or many stages to be developed, many pieces of the puzzle to be settled in place, and we're just getting started. We're giving the first bites into this giant elephant that is this little guy here, our friend Bobby. We recently have changed the course of our development into something that is uh, different than what we had before, which was the rigger or the Joker rig, right? We were working on the model of Joaquin Phoenix, developed or model sculpted by Chin Kai Yang, great guy that provided me this model. And this one here, our friend Bobby, he is a different kind of shape. This guy is a full skin of a real person, which I have no idea who is. I have no idea what's the real name of this guy, but here he is. Today, as usual, we have comments here on the comment section. If you want to talk, if you want to exchange some ideas, please feel free to reach out and let's talk. I'm also going to be here, wow, and I'm going to be working. So let me check if everything is all right. Let me close this. I have a few tabs open, but as you can see, this is our blunt shape set. As I said before, it's not a complete, I mean, there are certainly shapes missing, but I believe we have the most important ones. And from this, we can start going. And now we're gonna keep our friend here floating so that we get a good reference of where we want to get and we don't forget. And yeah, let's keep moving. So we're currently on Twitch, and let me see if Twitch is now in the resolution that we need to be, because last time we had people complaining, and it seems like it's crystal clear. We're streaming on Twitch on a very high resolution now. So if you feel like watching the content on a high res, you can do that now on Twitch. And that's it. Enough. I'm already talking for 4 minutes. I believe that Facebook or YouTube must be streaming on high quality as well, but I don't know about that right now. So I am just going to get back into our scene. One thing that I did since the last time I streamed, which was, I believe, yesterday, is that I got the, yeah, I'm just checking here if the stream is in high quality on YouTube as well, and we are on 140, 140, 1440p. So that's good. And well, the problem that we were having the last time I stopped here was that the blend shapes, we needed to change the blend shape scale in order for us to be able to import them later on. And right now, one of the problems that we had on trying to export first was the FBX. The FBX was importing. When I tried to import the shapes using FBX, I was getting just a few of them. I don't know why it wasn't importing all of them. So right now it's working. So I'm going to continue to move now then into importing and exporting these guys. And let's try once again, just so that we have it clear here on the scene. So I'm just going to use the script here to uh, import all the shapes that we have on the project folder. So right now we're running the script and it's importing all the shapes. Meanwhile, let me see. I have something else that I want to change on the script. Let it finished. So it takes quite a long time to import all of these shapes, as you can see. So our new goal now is to find a way to export, or we know how to export this, but we must find the proper scale for this. So I might have to import the skeleton. So what I can do is I can import the template geo, and with that I would get just the skeleton, I believe. Oh, why? Oh, so it crashed because we don't have the template group. That's interesting. So I gotta have the rig groups, and then I gotta import the template geo. And there we go. Look at the size of the blend shapes compared to our template geo. It's minuscule. And this is the size that it needs to be, which is a 173. It's basically based on the same, it's based on the height of Joaquin Phoenix, because this is the skeleton that we adjusted for him. And yeah, we need to change the scale. But first, I've learned something on the code that I'd like to change. So one of the things that I noticed is that, well, first we don't need these flags, not on this function at least. Next, we're printing this node list. I don't need this node list right now. So one thing that I was doing here is create like a namespace just to, yeah, so as you can see, I was importing the files with the namespace, and that might not be necessary. Just to find, so here I'm not using any namespace, and it is returning the nodes. So let me version this thing here just to test, and I'll keep this as version 00. And this new guy here, which is the same as the previous one, but instead of using namespace to import the geometry here, what I'm going to do is then use one of the flags that we used on the on the new stage of the script that we're working on, which is this return node, return your nodes. So with this here, I believe that we should be able to just get, instead of using the namespaces to find which nodes are being imported or what or whatsoever, I can actually do node list. And then I believe that we can just comment all of this basically and comment this as well, because we already get the names of the nodes. So that's even, I don't even know if there's a need then to even have the kind of function like this, because it's so simple. I mean, I'm just wrapping it up. I don't even need the node type to be specific. So what we want here, unfortunately, we have to re-import the shapes, but it's an important task that I just need to get through right now. Let's see if it's gonna crash. Yeah, it crashed. Because it is bringing in the full path. So it's breaking here what it's saying. If you are in YouTube right now or on Twitch, you can probably see clear like the day the letters inside of the of Maya, but Facebook won't help you that much. But this guy here inside of get top hierarchy node has just suffered from something. I believe these nodes are already being returned with a, get it here, so it's going to be Python ls, or better yet, file. So what I'm looking for right now is what is the so if the return new nodes has, well, there's a lot here. Return new nodes, but it's going to return the full name, and I don't know if I really want the full name, although that would be good. It should technically not be a bad thing, but it's not what the return is expecting. So what am I going to do here? Let me just check, what kind of list is returning here. Yeah, so the whole problem is that it is returning all the nodes, and as we can see here, it actually has a lot of crap on it. Yeah, that's no good. So this is another thing to take in consideration. There's a lot of there there's a bunch of unnecessary nodes or just straight trash in this file. So this is a problem. So okay, I'm not gonna fight against this right now. It's fine. I'm just gonna leave it as version 1, and I'm gonna unversion this so that we can keep working with this one, which was the one that was working, that we are sure it was working. And that should allow us to just bring in the rig, which is what we want. It's done. Wow, blazing fast. Good. So right, keep moving. So project set. I'm just gonna move on to the plan here. So I'm gonna write another function. Because the thing that I'm thinking is the naming on this, the naming on this files is not the best. So I need to think of a way of, after they are imported, a way that I can rename all the meshes without going nuts. So I'm just gonna import everything over again. It's creating a few errors there, so I'm trying to see what's the problem. All right, so it's all imported. Still clashed with with a node in the main scene. What's the deal? Hey, Phoenix. All right, so we got a first comment here from our friend Phoenix Studios. Yeah, man. I was focused on the task in hands, but appreciate the heads up. Wake up! All right. My view counter though is not working, it seems. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Phoenix Studios, once again participating. So what we have now is all of these blend shapes imported into the scene, right? So all of these guys are different things, obviously, and we need to figure out which one is the main. So we need to find a way of kind of categorizing this guy. So I believe that if I select just the top of the head, I'll probably be just getting the mesh or the head mesh, and that needs to be renamed. So I'm gonna have to write a small function here to try to grab the name of the group and just transfer it to the mesh. And the names of the groups are all in uppercase, which is completely nuts. I mean, I'm not going to be able to use this with like camel case. It's not even camel case. It's just the first letter is. So ideally I would remove this naming problem. So let me see. Hey. So Phoenix Studio is saying, "Don't worry, man. Yeah, don't worry. Be happy." Yeah, I agree. Who's zombie run saying, "Go to bed, Thiago." Yeah, I agree. I should be sleeping a little bit. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But let's keep moving. So I even forgot what I was going to search. Oh yeah, so Python, uh, lower all lowercase. So I just want to yes, it's lower, right? String lower. What's going to return us? So if we have, just going to test it here quickly. So let me show the comments from the people. Nice. Zombie Run, thanks for commenting, man. Phoenix Studios, once again, thanks for participating. Highly appreciate it. All right, so let's just test this. So since be string equals my name, I don't even want to think too much right now. Then it's going to be string. So this is like lower equals string dot lower. Let's see if that's how it works. Oh, I haven't defined. So define string, and let's see if what we get here is then the string in lowercase. Yeah, my name all lowercase. Yeah. So Zombie Rom is asking if I'm still on DD. Yes, I am working a lot, but it's really really great experience. Learning a lot. Do I know you by any chance, Zombie Rom? Is it are you someone that I actually know? Let me adjust this here. Absolutely. Who is this guy now? Now I'm curious. Let me check it. All right, let's see. I'm just checking the stream here on YouTube. Gonna change the account just out of curiosity. Oh, I don't have access, but nice. You see, you think you're talking to yourself here, and all of a sudden, people that you actually know pop up. Anyways, yeah, and once again, thanks for stopping by and being a part of this madness. All right, so I do have the neutral here. So what I want is to first just change the names of all of these top groups here because I don't really think it's going to be useful to have the top group as with uppercases. So what I'm going to do is I am so we have here Zombie Rom is saying, "I'll give you a hint. We had the same mentor." Well, there could be quite a few people that can say the same thing, but I will assume I know only a couple, like a handful of guys that had the same mentor. But yeah, give me another hint. Does it starts with E? Is it a E name or is it a Z name? That's the question. Oh, I have my face on the screen here. Well, all right. So Oh, you work at EA. Huh. Are you Brazilian? Okay, so let me get this going here. So it's cbs.lssl equals one, and then I have the group name. So now I'm going to do so for name. So I'm just renaming this group. So name and name. I am going to then what as wide as can be. All right, so Zombie Rum is making me confused right now. You work in EA. It's great. So it could be like Marcelo, or you could be Elias, or you could be Swan, or I don't know. There's a few people, but I like your hints. Okay, so I am going to continue now. So names. So name. I'm gonna say name lower. So it's going to be name dot lower, and then I'm going to do cmds cmds dot rename, and then we're gonna do name lower. I believe that should solve all of our uppercase names, which is great. Now I can start trying to figure out how can I solve this part here. So for all of this guys here, then it shouldn't be that complicated, to the sense that I can just list the parent, get the name from the top group, and then we missed each other at Zoic. So is it had the same mentor? Okay, so we have we have my friend here, Zombie Rome, saying that he worked with me at Zoic. I miss Zoic and all the friends that I worked there. So I certainly like you a lot. Well, I like. I don't think I dislike anyone. So, but I certainly like my friends at Zoic. And Sam Walton is saying here, I feel so intimidated by rigging is tough to pick up without formal training. Is it tough to pick up without formal training? So for that question, I basically, the school that I've been had no. Well, I had a rigging mentor in one rigging class. Did it help? Yes, it helped. But I believe that a lot of the rigging things that, like especially the more complex things that came after that, they were all basically studying over the internet. There's tutorials now. Normal Workshop has a bunch of great tutorials. Plural Site has a bunch of great tutorials, and yeah, I believe you can make it, man. I know it's not easy, but I believe you can make it. All right, so let me pop up my music again. I don't know what's going on here. It's unfortunate that I cannot play songs here uh, on the stream, but I just have it for myself. Yeah, so to Zombie Room, I believe. I hope you give me another hint. So Zombie Room is saying that I can second that. Regan was almost completely self-taught. It's not as scary as it sounds once you clue into that rigging is just learning systems together. It already opens your eyes. Yeah, I agree. I agree. uh, I kind of I kind of can hear. I don't want to say it's someone that it's not. Is he? Could it be Peter? I don't know. But thanks for the answer. So here you go. Zombie Room saying, indeed, I agree. It's almost all self-taught. Even because even the content that you have online, like you have the, for example, in the rigging side, you have a lot of the joint things like curves, and you have the skinning, and then you have like I don't know, mesh related things. Then that you can learn on a course, or if you are on a school, for example, you can learn about that. But then comes Python, and Python was 100% not taught on school. You got to get going and just learn by yourself. And that's the I believe the thing that intimidates the most, the Python side. But also it's great to learn Python having a objective such as applying it in Maya, right? Because I've the two times that I've learned the most, as crazy as it sounds, I've learned a lot of scripting when I was younger, doing action script on Flash at the time. So let me try to get these names here. Hold on a second. So parent list. Oh my God, is equal to CMDS dot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to loop this again. So for name and names, or let me just call this a different thing. Let's call this geolist equals CMDS dot ls Excel equals 1. Man, I'm so traumatized. So Zombie Room is saying garbage code at all, just garbage. Let's trash it. I'm so traumatized with garbage code lately that I cannot do this, especially in front of the other people. So geolist, so geo and geolist. I'm going to do. It's not even a parent list. It's just parent equals MDS dot list relatives, and then I'm going to check for the list relatives because I don't remember. So list, so Maya, oh my God, Maya Python list relatives, and then it's parent, actually parent returns the parent of this diagonal. Yeah, it's pretty simple. This is going to be geo parent equals true. And I'm gonna grab this guys here, and I am going to do then. So I have the name now. I just want the single name. So it's post name equals to parent dot split. And then I'm just going to split it on the underscore. And then I'm gonna pop group. So I forgot also, so Python list remove item by name. So Sam Walton saying here, I love the whole process of character creation, but I'm curious about rigging, especially with muscle simulations. Just trying to find my way into the industry by following my interests. Man, it's awesome. If you like muscle simulation, and here we go, Sam Walton. If you like muscle simulation, I would suggest just jump into Ziva, get some creatures going, or even check out some of the. You can find rigs online that are already done, and and then just reverse engineer it, try and understand what's going on with those rigs. I have always had this particular interest in faces, so uh, for this reason, I ended up. Hold on. So if you get into zombie rum saying if you get into rigging you won't have problems. Rigging is very niche and super fun. The blend between artistic and tech is amazing. I agree. And it's also area that has a lot of demand. It's very hard to be uh, yeah, I mean, there's always demand for because I believe, especially for the reason that you're saying about that you're talking about how hard it is to get in. Sometimes people don't. Yeah, there's never going to be enough riggers. Like I don't think there's ever going to be enough people crossing the line of being able to understand rigging, understand Python, and have passion for that, like the problem solving aspect of the thing. So I I, I agree with Zombie Rum. It's amazing. Rigging's great. Just especially for me, it's mostly a problem solving thing. Like we are always into the mix of solving problems. I think that when you start to get to do a lot of the same is when you start, for me at least, is when like motivation for me comes a lot from solving problems. And I believe Zombie Rum here, my friend, also likes it a lot. Solve a few problems. All right, so let me get back into this. So I'm just going to do a pose name list, and I'm going to pop the group, pop GRP, and at this point, I can then join. Uh, my God, the basics is failing me. So string Python string split. Oh, so this is the type of silly thing that you just have to get over with. Okay, so that's correct. So then I need to just check. Let's join. And I believe then, yeah. So then what we get is underscore dot join pose name list. And now we can then cmds dot rename. I'm gonna go with geo. format. Then I'm going to add just our pose. This is our new pose name. And then I'm just going to do pose name. All right, so let's hope this is a first time fix. Split. List object has no attribute split. All right, makes sense to me. An integer is required on what? Line 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the pop. Okay, so I cannot do pop. This is not how it works. Okay, so it's going to be Python list remove item by name by the value remove B. All right, that's what we need. It's not pop, it's remove. So what I want here is just to rename the selected, yeah, you see? So now we have neutral geo, and that should be the same in all of the others. So I close geo, I close type geo. So we got the naming that we needed in this particular geo here. So we're basically, yeah, so this is the teeth, and we probably can see tongue. There's a lot of tongues here. So you see, I just want to have like a way to select all of these geos and change the name without having to actually go there and change manually each one, you know. Yeah, and there's a lot there. It's gonna be a hard one. I don't know if I want to deal with this. Okay, so Lord, so let me get to the comments here. Lord Ras M is saying, I'm planning to do pre-recorded mockup by using smartphone recording and marker points and face. What would you suggest an appropriate facial rigging method for that? So basically the easiest way, and it's one of the ways that I'm looking to implement into this rig, is to use the Apple AR system. That is the it's the AR face. I forgot the name exactly. Let me see what the name here. Apple AR face capture. That's the AR kit. Yeah, it's face anchor, face AR simple. Yeah, it's basically you can control the rig based. So in a simple explanation, Apple is providing a pack with a bunch of blend shapes that the you have a software then that is this thing here. Let me see. I don't know if I have it here. I don't have it here. Face. No, I don't have it here. But I'll get it for you. So basically, what it does is Unreal Face. Yeah, it's the live link here. I'm downloading it. So there's a live link that you can then. So the cell phone is going to spit exact values for each one of the blend shapes that needs to be activated in order to replicate the facial motion that you're doing at the time. So if you're doing like this, Then the cell phone is going to read that information. So I'm going to show you right now. See, look. Can you see? Let me see. Can you see it? Maybe you can. But as you can see, it's creating a mesh around my face and replicating mostly replicating pretty well. I don't know if you can see it, but anyways, the thing is, it's then speeding the values, and you can control this blend shape rig directly with your phone, and you can transfer that to whatever rig you want. You just gotta find a way to transfer that information. If you're not using that, you can use faceware, or you can like this is the latest technology that just makes things a lot easier. But you can also try faceware, or there are other facial capture softwares, but faceware is the most known. So I don't know if that's simple enough information, but I would go for the Apple AR kit. Yeah, Faceware is good. It's not perfect. It's just going to save you time, but it might be good enough. Faceware probably has the most documentation. Yeah, I agree. Uh, and Faceware also is more versatile in the sense that it doesn't need to be necessarily a blend shape facial rig. You can have, as long as you have controllers, it's going to figure out based on the. You're just going to try to replicate the movement of whatever it is capturing. So it's also a good it's also a good way of doing it. But well, it's not a but the Apple AR thing, it's that has a direct. The only reason why you would even consider the Apple AR thing is that you have a direct connection with Unreal Engine and with Maya, and you can control your rig inside of Unreal Engine. But then the results are kind of questionable. But also you got to take it. Someone has to come and try to take this technology to the limit, like just trying to properly replicate, you know, or do a rig that communicates well with that. Okay, so I'm starting to see that this is going to be a little complicated here. There's too many meshes. So let's do what I was initially intending to do, and I'll figure this out just to keep the movement going. So I will use the rig builder here to create the setup rig groups, and then I'm going to import our rig template geo, and now I'm going to group this. And oh, I did make a mistake, didn't I? I did. Oh man, nah, 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 nah. Oh man, no way. Okay. Yeah, I mean, our friend here, Zombie Room, is helping a lot of this information. Uh, and Lord Dress, I'm glad this information is somehow useful. So I'm just gonna have to import everything again, just because I have hidden all of the all of the meshes. I'm not gonna open group by group right now and turn that on. So talking about this mesh here, I bought this about 6 months ago, and I am I was just holding it because I was trying to get the Joker rig. Look, this guy here. I'm calling him Bobby right now, and I bought it. I don't know. I paid like 400 $500 on it, and it has this set of that. It's a good set. It's not like all of the possible blend shapes you're gonna need, but it's also better than not having any blend shape at all. So with that, we're going to be able to get all of this, the major features here, and the squint of the eye, and whatever information we don't have with this blend shapes, we're going to be trying to use the. Oh, my head is on the front of the thing. Damn. But anyways, you get the idea, right? So this features here, which is something that we're not going to probably never going to achieve this with the rig. Like this kind of wrinkle here, only if you simulate that or something. So then you can use this information and some information like this, and add modifiers or free deformers. For even if it's a joint, just something that you can more precisely position it, but using the blend shapes as a base. So first thing is turning the names into lowercase. And then I'm going to come back here, and then I'm going to grab. So this is the good thing about Python and just coding in general. The first time you do it, it sucks, right? You lose time just to rename or just to write stuff. But once you do it, it literally you can literally do the same thing again over and over costlessly. All right, so we got this, guys. Now I'm gonna do what I was trying to do before. So just set up the regroups and import the template geo. And in the template geo, I do have this skeleton coming on. So this is not the correct thing, but we're gonna fix this soon. So the first thing that I want now is to grab this blend shapes, and I want to try to match our friend here. So yeah, this is good. Initially, it's going to be a quite manual process. It's not too bad. So let me just get all of these guys here hidden, and let's focus on this one here in particular, right? So we're gonna see how far are we, and I think we're not that far, honestly. I was afraid it was gonna be worse. But also, I'm afraid this is not exactly in word zero. So Deepak Hajan is in the house saying hi here. Hello, Deepak. Hello, man. Right, so this group, I'm sure the group is in world zero, but now about the skeleton though, it doesn't seem to me that this is in world zero. So either the head is not completely zeroed out. I don't know how bad is that, having this head. So as I said, this is going to be a pretty long journey. Yes, it's completely off. Oh boy, here we go. So what do we even know regarding? Yeah, so it's a little bit off here, all over the mesh. Since we are rigging only the face, Yeah, that's a little rough, says Zombie Run. Bam. Yeah, that's a little bit off. So mhm, mhm. I might adjust it just a tiny bit. So I believe that this is more or less the center here. That's a horrible way of. It's not a nearly precise way of doing things, but this is not precise at all. I can see. Yeah, so the center line is kind of going everywhere here. Yeah, it's going in one direction and coming back. So see from the top, and it's slightly twisted. So the entire thing is a little bit twisted. That's something else too. Yeah, so we're gonna try to get it as best as possible. Honestly, it's not too bad. So we have two new comments here. Thanks, guys, for participating. Highly appreciate it. So Deepak saying, I have a doubt. On what unit scale do you read the character? Do you keep the scene scale in centimeters or meters? I'm currently working in centimeters. I went to the scene settings and I checked it out. It is in centimeters, and I've set the height to be so the skeleton is scaled roughly on the proportions of the for Joaquin Phoenix project, right? So I'm just importing this skeleton from him. That's why it's not matching at all. So I am uh, kind of just because he's 173 centimeters or 1 meter and 73 centimeters. Uh, this guy, I would say maybe he's taller, but he's just a hat. He's just a folding hat, you know. So in order not to need to scale anything on the skeleton side, I'm just going to use the skeleton base and adjust the geo on top of it. Then we just move on. It's not going to be perfect. Then after that, I'm still going to adjust the skeleton underneath it to match it because he is a black dude, so there's differences on the structure of the skull here that are pretty clear. And yeah, so NukePy is saying something as well. Are you using only Python or PyML and OpenMaya also? So I'm using OpenMaya, especially for operations when you have to loop through large numbers of vertex, for example. But initially, it's not something that I deal all that often. OpenMaya. So what I will probably be doing is I'll use standard Maya Python, and the operations that needs any optimization, I'm going to be coming back and doing it with OpenMaya. Also, regarding PyML, this is something that maybe Zombie Room has information about because we used to. I saw this in a few studios. It's a good way to have an object oriented Maya commands, but it's also very slow. So I don't know to what extent it is a big advantage to use PyML. Maybe it's going to shorten the code, but on the other hand, it is going to make it a lot slower. So, and I'm not really missing it. So I don't know if someone has a different opinion on whether we should use PyML or not. very welcome. How's the resolution in YouTube as well? Is it uh, are you getting all the fine details of this thing? So yeah, we have it roughly in place. The zygomatic bone here is so Deepak has a I guess I didn't give a proper explanation. So it's in centimeters. The whole unit system is in centimeters here. Deepak. NucPy. I hope that the answer was good enough. If it wasn't clear, please let me know. All right. So yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit off. I should use the eye. Look at the eye, man. It's the largest amount of vertex on an eye ever encountered. Good thing that it's just a hat, because so nice. So Zombie Room is saying here that he tend to write everything in Python as well, and then go into OM after. Yeah, makes sense. Because it's OM is usually like an optimization problem, or um, there are some operations that you cannot do without OM, but I would say maybe that's very specific. So I need to make some decisions here now, because the thing is, it's not centered. It's roughly positioned here. The question is it good enough? Yeah, it's so NukePy says clear. And what about C++? Do you write custom deformers for rigging? I haven't been writing uh, any nodes with C++. I've seen it in a few studios as well. I know the digital domain has some C++ nodes. They have one pretty cool that is like a blend shape, uh, UV blend shape, and a few. So another deformer that smooths the mesh like just like a delta mush, but it's a proprietary node that it's works in a different way. So, but as you can see, it's like very specific as well. Like, I don't know. In a production environment, you gotta imagine that people gotta give you time to develop stuff. You're not gonna sit down and develop like a C++ node if it's not absolutely necessary, or if you're very knowledgeable of what you're doing and you can do it very fast. So it gotta be like a very urgent demand for a specific node like this. And Deepak is saying, great. Is there a difference between rigging in the centimeters rather than in meters? I think that as you said, it depends on the scale, right? So if you're working in meters, it's you probably one unit here is going to be like a gigantic unit, and this is going to be it's going to look like a small thing into a gigantic grid. And this is the face. We're going to be looking this close to the face. So if you're working with larger objects, a building, an airplane, or something like that, maybe you don't want the centimeter scale. But it also depends on the scene. Everything on the scene must be on the same scale. So uh, for me, to be honest, I don't remember exactly what was the settings for every studio that I worked on, but I believe it must be something like centimeters as well. All right, so let me keep moving here. Sorry, guys. And Deepak, I hope that was a good enough answer. So we have surprisingly seven people on YouTube. Amazing. Thanks for showing up, guys. Let me keep moving here to the problem that we're working on right now is we have the whole blend shape set here, and we are importing it, but we have a naming issue and a scale issue. It is yeah, so the reason why scale here is an issue is because if I don't handle all of the blend shapes at the same time, because after I'm done scaling it, I'm gonna have to freeze the scale up, right? Or not even just the scale. I need to zero the pivot. I need to freeze the translations, the rotations, and the scale. So if I do this for only the neutral poles, and then I import all of the other guys and blend shape that in, it's just going to bring shrink the mesh in until it reaches the position of that small or that smaller joint. Sorry, that smaller mesh. So I need to then uh, do this process here. Also, because we have eyelashes, we have a bunch of different things here. So that all needs to be correct. So I'm also seeing here that, yeah. So we have the eyes. Just checking the namings here. And we can probably say, yeah. So you see, the problem is that we gotta handle everything in like in mass. So for all of the poses, we have a bunch of different meshes, and they're named in different ways. So almost every one of them are. So we have a real time lens. But anyways, I need to make some decisions here. So I'll start by. So this is the index. Let me see. I know that I've placed the pivot on the center. So I'm just going to close this, and I am going to turn on all of these guys. They are correct. This guy's posed like as best as possible for now. If I find a problem later on, that's just life. I'm going to have to deal with that. I wish it was fully mirrored. That would help a lot, but might as well just live it through. So yeah, this is the comments from our guys here, our boys, Deepak, Nuke Pie, Zombie Rum. Thanks for participating, guys. Highly appreciate it. All right, so keeping the movement on, I will then just freeze the transformations for all these guys. So first of all, I'm going to freeze the transformations for, or even better, I will unparent this, and these transformations are going to pass right into the groups. This is still zeroed out. So first thing that I'm going to do is just freeze the scale here. and that should freeze all of our groups scale. So what happens if we, yeah, that's all good. So now the next thing that I want to do here is get all of these guys here. I'm just destroying the information here right now. One thing at a time. And our meshes here, they're all right, they're surviving. So I will just then, so you can see that all the pivots are here on where, like, this was the position that we had this word zero before. So now what I'm going to do is just transfer all these pivots to word zero. Boom. So now the meshes are zeroed out, and translation, rotation, and scale, and the pivots are in world zero. I'm out. Yeah. So Zombie Rum is saying, I'm out, Tiago. Have a good night, man. You were wrong about me being Mr. Scott. Oh, man. Well, who else would it be? But man, you send me a message, please. Whatever you have me, Facebook, LinkedIn, just send me a message on my cell phone and let's talk. I'm really curious right now, and I'm pretty sure you are a great friend of mine. So I appreciate the words and the help on the comments. And you have a good night, man. All right, so all meshes are good to go here. Now the groups are suffering from the same problem. I am just going to throw the pivot into the floor. Ha ha! It's my friend Troy. I knew it, man. I knew it. Or I knew it. I mean, the mystery was killing me. So Troy was a friend that I met when I first went to EA back and when I was first looking for my first job, and also that I met on a few of like the industry nights on Vancouver Film School, where we would meet with the people that are like just finishing their demo reels, and also then some people from the industry would come up. And I clearly remember, like, when Troy was getting out of EA, going to Zoic, and then he had a whole plan in his mind, and it worked out greatly. And it's very nice to see that. Sometimes you're working here and you think that you're just meeting new people, and there's always people from all over the world here, even if it's a handful of people. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Troy. Highly appreciate it, man. All right, so what we'll be doing here then is all the meshes are froze now. So the last step here would be to have them renamed. I'll be very happy to have them renamed here. I may have to deal with. I may have to deal with some of them manually. I don't like the idea, but I also don't want to be spending my whole life here. So, but man, looking at all of these groups, it just gives me goosebumps right now. Yes, I'm just checking the namings and which ones, if all of them has the same. Look, this thing here, what is this? It's one of the eyeballs. So this is the kind of thing that you can't really, because all of the others they have like the same like the pattern is ZBrush poly mesh. Yeah, just ZBrush poly mesh at the end there. So if all of them has just, but the problem is we have some of them that doesn't have just this one particularly, the eyeball. So I'm just gonna go through this and oh man, you know what? Maybe the best thing to do is the opposite. So just oh. Yeah, so I can see now that we have these groups with this, and they're all the exact same thing. Yeah, now I'm being a little smarter. So the thing is always work smarter, not harder. So you can see that these guys here, I'm gonna have to book rename them. And and yeah, it's gonna cause conflicts because they all have the same name. So when I start calling them, oh boy, it's a lot. 'Cause then I'm gonna have to. I can list the entire name, but I'm gonna have to break it down. Jesus, man. Okay. You can always do it the beautiful way or the ugly way. Sometimes the ugly way is the only thing left for you. So as I said before, this is a process that it's going to take like a long time in terms of it's not only this process that's going to, this is just cleanup is the very first stage of the process. And at some point you probably get into a state of flow, where you already have most of the problem solved, and you just actually producing more code, or adding. So yeah, so this is as you can see, this is a problem to the sense that we're going to have a bunch of meshes with the same name. It's not going to work. I mean, I'm just going to finish this, and I'll think of how to solve this, because I'm going to have to then remove all of this ZBrush polymeshes. But now at least all of them have this, and it's going to leave me with just the naming that I need here. And then I'm going to turn all of this into a lowercase, and then we should be good to go. But also I need to add as a prefix some sort of information that could be probably like smile, mouth closed, and with that prefix, you know that you have a unique mesh. Because right now you're gonna see it. It's gonna crash right away. All right, so we're gonna rename this uh, So Deepak is asking, do you bind and add controls on the same joints, or do you use different set of joints to for the controls? Given that it is so, this is the comment from Deepak here. So given that, let me see if I can reduce our lights here. Does it make any difference? Ah, no. All right. So uh, if we use a different set of joints, yeah. So the thing is, we have this joint system here. It's very basic right now. There's going to be our template rig skeleton, right? So what's going to happen is this is going to be imported as a template, and then we're going to have to use this information of like this joints to then control the rig. What I have in mind is that these are going to be the bind joints. So this is going to be driven by either directly the controls, or maybe it's going to be binded into some other type of system, such as we could have, for example, a ribbon here to drive this. But probably we're going to have joints in between. But for systems, for example, like the arm, if you want to do a IKFK system, you got to have three sets of joint arm joints, right? So the at the end of the day, it's going to depend on each module individually. All right. Hope it makes sense. All right. So here we go. So I need to then, so I'm gonna get all these guys, and I'm gonna grab myself another clean tab, and I'm gonna say group list equals to cmds.ls sl true. Now I'm going to look through this for group in group list. I am going to then get children list equals cmds dot list list relatives, and then it's going to be the relatives of the group, and it's going to be AD, which is all descendants. It's true, and that then I'm going to create another loop. So child and student list. Now I'm going to start trying to change the names, but I'm 100% sure that's not going to happen. So new name equals to child dot replace, and then I'm going to get the name that I don't want. So I don't want this guy here. And I'm going to basically tell it to remove, and then cmds dot rename child and new name. All right, so this should be enough, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. See, more than one object matches the name. So this is the problem that we have right away. Okay, so let me see then. What can we do? Parents, all parents, path, full path. Let's try a full path. All descendants, full path equals true. But then you're gonna have the full path, and that what? What? Oh, it sort of did what I wanted it to do, but without like. It's interesting. That was not what I was expecting, but it actually worked. It added the name of I didn't there's nothing here specifying that, but it just did that. Hmm. Okay, so then I can just remove the group of the name. I don't know how that happened. It's grp underscore. And this time we don't need the full path because the names are unique now. So let's see if it worked. It was super fast. I don't think it went through. Why is that? What? It's not responding at all. Okay, so this is a problem somewhere. I think it's just not working. Why? What have we done? Okay, so we have already 1 hour and 28 minutes of this crazy development here. Let me see how YouTube is going. It seems that we have 6 people live with us right now, so that's something for me. So thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe dropping out soon. So just a quick recap then. If you're coming here for the first time and you don't know or don't have any idea of what's going on, this floating head here on top of us is our new friend Bob, and we are using this set of blend shapes with poses that represents the expressions of the face of Bob, and we're using this. We're also developing the script, which is a RigBuilder. And the RigBuilder, it's nothing more than a way to execute methods in a sequence, right? So with our RigBuilder, we are registering. So we have such a method like print all directory paths, right? And then we are registering this method with this function here, and this method is then it's being the RigBuilder is reading it. So we have it here inside of chat project, print all directory paths, right? So then when we click this face rig, it's going to execute line by line here. The advantage of this is that we can just keep adding new methods, and it's a very flexible way of rigging, and we can keep doing it on the fly. And at the end, we're going to have a script that's going to be able to build our rig. Check the project, check if all the files that we need are there. Import all the files. Import all the skin clusters. We have code to export skin clusters. So this is the idea of the project. and then we're gonna have all the bunch shapes working together. Right now, we have to clean up everything. We have to rename. It's a bit of a annoying process to say the least. And I would like to then export this blend shapes, but right now, yeah, maybe honestly, I can just export them as a whole right now. I don't even need to, because they are not even blend shapes yet. The blend shape files are probably going to be exported as a shapes file, which you can export here on General Animation Editor. If you go to Shapes Editor, then you can do like export shapes, and that's what we're going to be exporting. So not necessarily this. So I would go as far as saying that this is not actually our. I would say that this is actually a blend shape template. Template geo group. So this way now I can export this guy here into our template geo group. Blend shape template geo. As an MB file, right? It's probably going to take a while because there's a bunch of geometry. But once this is done, then I am safe to say that I can just run the script again because the script is checking this folder, this template folder. So, I mean, should I save this? I don't want to lose work here. I trust the code, but I don't want to lose work. So this is going to be Bob face rig 001 cleanup blend shapes cleanup 001. This is the first time I'm actually saving a scene, which is completely unnecessary, just as long as everything is properly working. But since we don't, I mean, if something goes wrong, I'd rather have a backup. So then I'm just going to run the code, and likely it's going to bring all of these blend shapes back. There you go. This is the first time we're importing all of these blend shapes. It's probably stuck now into the importing process of this blend shapes. Let it think a little bit. Let it rest. All right. Did it break? How's it going? Are you still there? Are you hanging on? I know it's complicated. The rigging thing. I'm not gonna say it's complicated because I'm sure anyone that wants to try it will be able to make it. It's just a little, it's a lot to chill and to watch this is also a bit of a process. But We're sharing information, talking. Sometimes that's the way to get through it, and this for me is the way to keep concentrated. Even if we're talking here and answering questions, it's still better than just watching podcasts, I guess. That's what I've been thinking. Yeah, so I guess we have a crash, guys. Oh, import method is done. I think it's gonna come. Yeah, yeah, yes. All right, it's just taking a long time because of the blend shapes, but it's a good thing. Okay, so also, there's one thing I didn't notice before is that I believe that this one might be what's going on with this guy here. Oh, okay, this guy is the first one that I have exported as the model geo group, and he's gotta go. But here are our blend shapes, meaning that they are exported and we can safely get back into them and just keep editing. But as you can see, the script is adding them back into the group already, and we have kind of a safe base here to come back and keep working. So this way we know that the file saved, like, and it's so NukePy is saying, I'm listening. Nice. All right. So yeah, the blade shapes, they are saved on their separate files. So it's not like all of this information here is saved into one single file. You know what I mean? It's not like the skeleton and this the joint skeleton and the geometry skeleton. And it's not like all of this is saved into one single file, so you have a lot less chances to have a problem. And at the end, it's always going to rebuild for you, so you can always have a fresh version of the rig. So this is the main idea behind a rig builder. Okay, so yeah, the only way now is to start cleaning up the remaining names. Let me see if this is going to get through. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Let's see if it's going to work now. So we have this issue with, like, we have the group here. I don't want this group. I want this group gone. Yeah, nice. It works. Yeah, so now we sort of have something here already, which is great. Feeling relieved. Oh, also, I want to have all the names in lowercase. I don't want this crazy uppercase stuff here. So let's just keep an eye on the uppercases here so that we can have a reference. See the eyeball lens left. This is what we don't want. So all descendants, it's listed here. So for children, so child and children list, replace the group, and then new uh, new name lower equals to new name dot lower, and then we're gonna add the new name lower here. So then we'll be able to see if my head is not in front of you. You're gonna be able to see right here that when I run this, the uppercases should be gone. Boom. Works like a charm. Bam. Boom. Gotta commemorate sometimes. My family is sleeping here, so I'm just a father, so it's a father life. It's not like it's not like it's a party in my house. Okay, so surprisingly, I thought this was going to take longer, but it actually worked out pretty well. So maybe I don't need the lefts, for example. Maybe I could have, instead of left, I could have like L or LT, LS. But anyways, this is good enough for now. We can work with this. So again, I'm just going to export this, and I'm just going to straight overwrite this. So NukePy is asking, how did I get code tips on the script editor? I believe you gotta. It's pretty simple, actually. I think it's here. Uh, Auto close braces, it's you gotta have one command completion and tooltip help. So command completion, tooltip help. Check it out. See if it works for you. All right. Yeah, so now I think it's a matter of really adjusting the skeleton beneath it. I have the jaw here. Let me see how far away it is from that. It's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. It's great. I have a good starting point. I have just to obviously adjust here the frontal part of the skull here. Make it kind of match. Let's see how it goes. All right, so this is exported. Things are being imported. Let me get rid of one piece of thing here that I don't want. Yeah, you're welcome, NukePy. Yeah, I think that I'm just gonna say this is going to be our new model geo. Also, I don't have a geo on the naming of this guys. It's some of them have. Okay, so that's another thing. Only one of them have. Nah, nah, nah. Okay, so let's go one thing at a time. Well, ideally, I would add that. Um, man, I don't want to script this silly thing. just silly. It's similar to this one. It's not duplicated. Okay, so it's going to list all children. Then it's going to loop through the children, and then we're going to have the name. And I want to first of all name split, because I have some of them. So I want to add the geo to the end of the name, but some of the names already have geo on the name. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split the naming. So name split, I'm going to do child, and then I'm going to split, and then I'm going to split on the underscore so that each of them have, like, I have a list with each of the names. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a if geo not in name split. Geo not in name split. Then you're going to, how can I append string? I think it's just a plus, right? Yes, it's adding a plus. So new name, then it's going to be uh, 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 it's going to be child plus geo, and I don't need the lowercase in this case, and that should be it. So we have the groups already, but I'm just going to do it again. So if all goes right, I will have a geo in front of all of these guys except for the neutral. And neutral, by the way, has neutral geo, which is silly, but so let me just get this groups. Oh, what happened? The computer is super tired already. It's more tired than me. It's not running the code. Oh gosh. Okay, let's just export this. I'm gonna have to run this again. It's gonna take a little bit of time. I believe that my RAM memory is suffering a little bit already. Certainly is. Just failing to execute commands right now. Anyways, look, I'm just asking it for it to give me a new file, and look at how much it's suffering. Responding my friend Troy here that was participating with us here. Anyways, guys, I think that I don't like to end a stream with a frozen screen, but I really don't know if that there's any reason to just keep waiting on this. It's very heavy, so I might have I might be I might need to buy more RAM memory during the process of this stream because I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't think I have enough memory to handle this many shapes. I'm going to be also, because of the streaming, the the memory just gets super overloaded, and yeah, I might have to add some memory here, but it's, at the moment it's just crashing. I think it's gonna crash. I think it's gonna crash. What do you think? Oops. Come in. All right, what do you think, Bob? Tell me. Should we end right here, right now? I know, I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. But we made some progress. The files are saved. We're able to rebuild it, and it's going to bring in everything again. The state that we are right now is just adding, just fixing up namings, and the position of the mesh is already in place. The meshes were are freezed out. We have now to set up the school. Someone's being arrested right now. So we're the meshes are properly placed, and they seem that they're good to go right now. So next stage is just adding this geo to the end of the naming, importing all of the shapes, or not even importing the shapes for now. Maybe I'll just leave them out of the way for now. And we are going to start working on the rigging part instead of focusing first on the blend shape side. Like this information is already in place. The reason why it needed to be the way it is, in the sense of why we needed to clean up the stage and get all of this shapes on the same size, because the neutral poles must be on the same scale of the blend shapes. If we don't bring everything to the same point on the same scale and just do everything at once, then when we start to apply these blend shapes, they're going to be all over the place, and this is not going to work, and we're never going to be able to match it again. So by getting started with the correct scale on all blend shapes, now we can start rigging the neutral poles, and after that we can simply start bringing in the blend shapes. So yeah, that's it. It's really not coming back. So yeah, yeah. So again, thanks for everyone that participated. If you hanged in there, and we're gonna have this another one of this soon, probably if not tomorrow, the next day. And we're gonna keep pushing this until something comes out of it, or my computer explodes, or my head explodes, or something like that. All right. Let's say bye to Bobby. Bobby. Hey, bye bye, man. You did a good job today, buddy. Thank you so much for your presence. I'm pretty sure everybody enjoyed your company and your presence. You brought so much novelty to the place, and you spin so it's beautiful how you spin. It's amazing. All right, we're living on this lunatic note. All right, bye bye.